What's up everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of this series, building a mobile app using ChatGPT and Flutter. In the first episode, we installed Flutter and Android Studio and we started building our mobile app. We did this by asking ChatGPT some basic questions that helped us understand how to get started. If you've watched a ChatGPT tutorial already, then you probably know that ChatGPT is capable of a lot more than just answering some basic questions. So in this episode, we're going to put it to the test by providing an elaborate description of the app that we want to build as a prompt to ChatGPT and see how it handles it and what it gives us back. So let's get started. All right, so back in Android Studio, we left off with our game grid on our display here, and we have the demo code that we started editing to achieve what we did in the first episode here with this game grid. So I've written this elaborate description of the app that we want ChatGPT to help us build, and I'm going to copy and paste that into ChatGPT now to see how it handles it. All right, check that out. So we'll notice that our chat window here, the title of it was updated to be called Code a Mobile App Game. If we go up to the top of the code here, we can compare this to what we see in Android Studio in the demo project. You can see it does start the same way. It imports that Flutter package, and then it changes right away. Right? We don't have this void main function, which I'm not sure that might be a problem, but it immediately started writing out some classes based on the code prompt that I gave it. In my code prompt, I had things like display the hexagon shape. And if we go through here, there's a few more comments that ChatGPT has automatically added in to the different classes within its code that are all based on some text from the prompts that I gave it. So it's actually calling out where it's trying to build the things that I asked for. So what I want to do next is I want to take this code from ChatGPT and I'm actually going to overwrite all the code in main.dart. And something I did behind the scenes already was made a backup of this main.dart file so that if this breaks our app, we can get back to where we started today. So here we go. I'm going to copy and paste in what we just got from ChatGPT. Okay, so there's our code pasted in. Now let's see if it will run. As we can see, this generated a number of errors for us. So let's see if we can use ChatGPT to solve the problems that are in the code. What I'm going to do is copy all of these errors down here into ChatGPT and ask it to correct these errors from its code that it's already provided us. I'm also going to give ChatGPT a small prompt that tells it that we're giving it errors from its own code and ask it to correct it. Still more errors, not really a surprise. I didn't expect us to be able to fix all of the errors in one go here. What we might try to do is go error by error now, and I'm going to start at the top. What I'll do is inquire about the error that's being provided with ChatGPT and see if it can provide the resolution. So what I'm going to do is ask ChatGPT to correct the error in the code, and I'm also going to provide it the code segment where the error occurred. Also, at the bottom of the prompt asking ChatGPT to correct the error in the code, I'm going to ask it to explain what it changed when it provides that response. Okay, something else I've decided to do is to template out the text that we use to ask ChatGPT to correct the error. So that looks like this. I've done this in a simple code text editor off on the side, so I can copy and paste this text in to ChatGPT, and then I can go ahead and copy and paste in the error and copy and paste in the code segment where the error occurred, and that'll make it a little more efficient for us to reuse this template each time. Okay, so after a bunch of troubleshooting and rerunning those errors back through ChatGPT, we discovered that flat button has been deprecated in Flutter, which ChatGPT did not know. This is an interesting catch with ChatGPT, is that it's been trained across the entire internet, but only up until the year 2021. So it has some instances where it doesn't have the most current information necessarily. So in this case, we were able to discover that the widget called text button has replaced flat button in the current framework for Flutter. So we ran some code. We asked ChatGPT to replace the code for flat button with the code for text button. Once we did that, we were finally able to get our code to run. However, it resulted in this error here. So next up, we're going to troubleshoot this error and see if we can get our code nice and clean. Okay, so remember how when we got the code from ChatGPT, we had that one particular little function at the top that seemed to be missing? Turns out that's really important. This is what makes our entire app run, this main void up here. So it turned out we need to implement the main method as well as some other method to get our app to start working. So what I did was went back into our original demo app project that we had copied and pasted over with our ChatGPT code, replaced it in there, and now we have some what looks to be pretty error-free code after some time spent feeding those errors back in to ChatGPT and getting them cleared up, and then adding this main method at the top. So now hopefully we're ready to hit play and start our app and see what happens. We actually have some functionality from our ChatGPT code. This is the game setup menu that's supposed to come up at the beginning of the game. It should display our player count, our default life, and allow us to modify those. As we can see, we only have player count displaying right now, so this is going to take some more digging into the code to figure out. But it's pretty exciting that we have our first modification using the ChatGPT code. The increase works and the decrease works. So we're going to have to go through this code a bit more to get all the functionality in place. But for now, it's pretty exciting that we have our ChatGPT code able to run on an emulator right here in Android Studio. Alright, so in this episode, we were able to generate a bunch of code from a single complex prompt that we fed to ChatGPT at the beginning of the episode. Then we were able to refine it using ChatGPT to troubleshoot the errors that we found within the first batch of code. Then with some quick references to the demo project that we'd started with in Flutter, we were able to get our app up and running, which is great. Next episode, we'll pick up where we left off using the code from ChatGPT and refining it down to get the final product that we want to end up with. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon.